How does constant aperture work on zoom lenses? Imagine being able to zoom in on a subject without worrying about changing the amount of light entering your camera. That's what a constant aperture zoom lens allows you to do. These lenses keep the same maximum aperture size no matter how much you zoom. So whether you are zoomed out or zoomed in, the amount of light coming through stays steady. This is especially helpful when shooting in low light or when you want consistent exposure across different focal lengths. The magic behind this lies in the design of the lens itself. Inside the lens, there are multiple glass elements that move as you zoom. In a constant aperture lens, some of these elements move in a way that makes the entrance pupil, the effective opening you see from the front, change size proportionally with the zoom. This keeps the ratio of the focal length to the aperture diameter the same, which means the f-number stays constant. The f-number is a way to describe how wide the lens opens relative to its focal length. In some cases, additional lens elements behind the aperture also move, but they don't change the size of the entrance pupil. If the focal length increases faster than the entrance pupil, the aperture appears smaller relative to the focal length, making the lens a variable aperture type instead. That's why constant aperture zoom lenses are carefully engineered to keep the aperture size consistent throughout the zoom range. Because of this precise design, these lenses tend to be larger, heavier, and more expensive than variable aperture zoom lenses. They are often used by professional photographers and videographers who need reliable exposure and consistent image quality. For example, in low-light situations or when using manual exposure settings, a constant aperture lens ensures your images stay bright and clear. In summary, constant aperture zoom lenses work by moving certain lens elements in harmony so that the effective aperture size scales with the zoom. This keeps the f-number the same, allowing for consistent light intake and exposure control. They are a valuable tool for capturing sharp, well-exposed images no matter how much you zoom in or out.